Hundreds of nonprofit organizations in the United States are looking for competent board members to lead their companies. At the same time, people from all walks of life are volunteering or wanting to volunteer in community leadership roles. So both boards and volunteers are asking the same question: what's expected of a good board member? The answer: Blueprint for Leadership. It's a 21-year program of the United Way that explores issues related to serving on a nonprofit board of directors and prepares leaders to be good nonprofit volunteers and board members. Here to talk more about that, we welcome Malik Whitaker and Charles Weathers, both with the Blueprint for Leadership program. We also welcome Jeff Reiser. He is a Blueprint graduate. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, Malik, we're going to start with you. Tell us what Blueprint for Leadership is and why did the United Way create this program?
As you said previously, 21 years ago, the United Way decided that it had an vested interest in training good nonprofit board members for our agency organizations, but also for just the nonprofit sector and the human service sector in our community. And, you know, any good organization will tell you that a well-trained board member is priceless. Someone who knows their roles and responsibilities, someone who understands their own special talent as a board member is priceless. So the United Way took it upon itself to start this great program and has over the years trained several dozens of individuals to be nonprofit stewards and nonprofit trustees and to serve our community in a very valuable way.
Describe the program specifically. What do people learn? What do they have to go through?
Well, we have our facilitator here, but the Blueprint program actually is an 8-week program, a 4-month program. We meet bi-weekly, 9 to 12, the second and fourth Thursday of the month, starting in February. And basically, you get a process where Charles and the Weathers groups facilitate a case study process, access to nonprofit champions, people that have proven and have done this great work for many years that can explain the intricacies of it, also their personal journey. And also you get a great text and a great program, and you get to work with other people. You get to go through a process with other people who are experiencing the same thing, who will also want to be great nonprofit leaders.
All right, let's talk to Mr. Facilitator here. Tell us why nonprofit board members are so important to these nonprofit organizations.
Great question. Ultimately, the nonprofit board member is the ultimate legal, ethical, moral, and fiduciary authority. If something goes wrong or something falls to the wayside, it stops at the board member. And board members need to understand the magnitude of the position they take and the magnitude of the responsibility. What board members are saying to the public at large is, we are going to be good stewards of the corporation. We're going to hold it in trust on your behalf to ensure that it's accountable, compliant, and transparent. So we feel that board members need to have the competency and the character in order to fulfill that role. So in the Blueprint class, we're covering things like forming collaborations and partnerships, inclusion and diversity, basic roles, responsibilities, and expectations, fiscal accountability, fundraising and resource development. So they understand they are the governors, not the managers, because they have executive directors in many cases that manage, but as the governing body, they are setting the policy that crafts the strategic direction of the organization.
And how do these boards typically choose their members?
Well, in many cases, many boards will go by friends, their circle of influence. Who do you know and who do you know? And what we try to do with Blueprint for Leadership is say, getting on a board is almost like getting married to somebody. It's a relationship. You wouldn't just marry anybody, so you shouldn't serve just on any board. We're a firm believer that every board is not for everybody. But part of the process is equipping people. When an organization approaches you to serve on a board, you know what questions to ask to make sure that organization's mission, vision, and values align with your personal mission, vision, and values, and you make a good fit.
Yeah, and we definitely want to get Jeff in here. Jeff, tell us a little bit about your marriage to your program. I understand you work with the Success by Six Committee. Tell us about your experiences first with Blueprint, and then tell us your experiences with your board.
Well, first of all, Blueprint prepared me for Success by Six. Without Blueprint, there would be no Jeff Reiser with Success by Six. I met Malik, and the rest is history. Charles and
I say the same thing about Malik. No, I'm just kidding.
Charles and his group did an excellent job of preparing me to understand the roles and responsibilities I'd be charged with one day as a board member. And I've just learned a tremendous amount from Blueprint, and it helped me be successful in Success by Six because I actually got to hit the ground running instead of trying to figure out what it is I'm here to do and how to do it, I was able to focus on their mission, the programs that they fund, and the services that they provide here in the Midlands.
Of course. And I know a lot of folks at home are wondering, okay, how much does it cost? How do I get involved? So tell us that, Malik.
Well, as I said at a presentation the other night, the corporate fee is $499.99. Okay. It's actually $500 for corporate sponsorship, okay. $250 for government and nonprofit sponsorship. Okay. And it's well worth the money. Mm-hmm. It really is. You can just contact me directly at 733-5423 or Malik Whitaker at uway.org.
Is there a website for the program?
Go to our United Way website, uway.org, and just look for Blueprint for Leadership.
Now, we've heard why Jeff took a part of this. Why was it important for you all to take part in this program? And I know you all haven't been in the program 21 years, so why did you all take part?
I'll tell you, my passion was that you see a lot of folks talking about community groups that don't want to work together or can't work together, or they're falling apart, so to speak, and not operating properly. And I believe that the governing body needs to understand the policy level and how much of an impact they make on the organization. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of needs that go unmet in our community, mm-hmm. not because the programs aren't viable, not because the need is not there, not because the resources aren't there, but because leadership does not understand the role they play in ensuring that these needs are met. So I take it as my personal process to make sure I do what I can do to develop leaders to go strengthen organizations which build communities.
Are you having successful marriages?
Yeah, we are. We're having great marriages. We think we're having a good track record with that. Yeah.
Okay.
When the United Way gave me this opportunity to take over this program, I thought, make it a fun process for people, make it user-friendly. Yeah. Not something that's boring. If you ever been through one of Charles's presentations, you hear him here, it gets a lot louder than mm-hmm. what he's showing you right here. Because, I mean, it's difficult work, but it's wonderful to be involved in something that you're passionate about, to know what you're supposed to do, mm-hmm. and to have a bonding. Jeff can tell you, the opportunity to meet other people who are going through the same thing, who want to know the ins and outs of being on a nonprofit board or being a servant leader. That's a great process. It's a great part of being a citizen. Mm-hmm. And so we enjoy having a really good program. When people finish, they don't want to leave. Mm-hmm. They love going through it. We're trying to get you to go through it if your time permits. I think it's just a great introduction to the United Way, what we're trying to do at the United Way, and also what we're trying to do in the community. So we're really proud of the program.
Give us that number one more time.
733-5423.
And I work from 3 a.m.
I know you do.
Okay. All right, everybody. When awareness returns, details on a disease that affects nearly 4 million African Americans each year. This is information you need to know. Stay with us, everybody.